Adhiyajna aham atra. Like I mentioned in the previous class, so the benefactor of everything we do is Adhiyajna. So yajna is a conscious activity of something, a conscious activity fulfilling a principle that is already happening, that already exists. And yajna merely connects that already existing truth to our own consciousness. My consciousness is right now caught in avidya. Avidya means where a sense of existence is felt, a sense of contribution is felt where there is none, actually, in the first place. So, right now I'm contributing, I think I'm working towards a certain objective, but that objective is always Krishna only. We are all looking for Krishna. That's the point. We are all trying to satisfy him already. Okay? But right now we do not know we are trying to do that in an impersonal way. It's not bhakti. This is more impersonal understanding that we are all trying to satisfy the Lord already. We're all trying to satisfy the self. Now you might ask, how is it the case? So you can imagine like this. So when you look for joy, if you introspect within our own heart, we can understand that I'm looking for something to excite me. I'm thinking, when will the next exciting object, it could be the next role I'm finding in my job. From now on, I'll be the manager. Yes. From now on, I'll be the senior manager. Yes. Or I could be getting some fame within ISKCON, or I could be getting some fame within the YouTube viewer circle base. So, if you ask yourselves, what are you meditating on? The details might vary between all of us and on different days, but it will point to one continuous thread of truth, and that truth is that I'm thinking, what will excite me next? Okay, what can I do next to excite myself? Okay, and that thing I'm searching for is actually Krishna only, because serving Krishna is the exciting thing. But I see something existing and something to know and something to enjoy independent of Krishna, but such an object doesn't exist, which is what I'm saying. Adhiyajna aham atra. So he is the person to whom all sacrifices are already going. I think I'm feeding my son, but who's eating? Who's eating? Who's eating? The body cannot eat by itself because the body is dead, and the body eat by itself. So actually, Krishna only is enjoying our food also. When we are eating, Krishna only is enjoying my food. Krishna is the benefactor of all activities in all situations, in all times, in all places, and all circumstances. But because of being an illusion, I create a false reality where I is supposed, I produce an I that exists, which is enjoying. That is false ego. So the practical aspect of this is that we have to become aware of something that is already happening. Krishna is already the enjoyer. He's the one enjoying already. So sometimes surrender becomes very difficult when we think I am enjoying and I must give up that enjoyment and then Krishna will enjoy. It becomes very troublesome because I am enjoying something, I'm giving up that enjoyment. This is very difficult. So, no one can give up enjoyment if you don't understand what is enjoyable. If you don't understand what I'm enjoying, I'm not enjoying at all. Okay, that I which is enjoying doesn't exist. That I that is enjoying doesn't exist. And that enjoyment also doesn't exist. I am enjoying. That I doesn't exist. That is the false ego. And the enjoyment also doesn't exist. And the enjoyer also doesn't exist. Okay? So we are creating a false reality through the Ahankara Tattva. So Krishna is the enjoyer right now also. The voice that is speaking is Krishna's voice. If I'm pure, I can also just not emit Krishna's voice, I can also emit Krishna's spirit and intent if I'm pure. But to the extent I'm impure, I cloud Krishna's intent by the three modes, which confounds. And if you are sincere also, you can accept it. Pure means what? What does purity mean? Desire to live a lie. That is impurity. Desire to live a lie. I know something is true, but I want to still live a lie. I still want to believe this is my father, this is my son, this is my daughter. I'm obsessed about a lie. I like to lie, right? I like to live a life of lie. So this is basically what is stopping us from actually accepting Krishna. But as soon as I give up this tendency to like lies, then I will always remember the Lord. I'll always remember the Lord. Why? Because He's there everywhere. I'm forced to remember my wife and children because I'm in the house and they're always there in the house. So you cannot forget your daughter or wife or children or husband or whomever it is because you're surrounded by them. Is it not? Out of sight, out of mind. But for a person who is actually uh, in knowledge, Krishna never goes out of sight. Because he's always in sight, because Krishna is essential reality. You see what I'm saying? So, and we also, this is to understand Krishna as a tattva. Another thing is to understand Krishna's love for us. That's also a reality. So, Krishna wants to enjoy that love that we are offering. That is why it's called Adhiyajna. He is the experiencer of all the love. And any love that I'm experiencing in the world is a reflection of Krishna's love. Or in a more practical sense, if I love someone like the way Krishna loves someone else, then that is the best way you can preach Krishna consciousness. Because if I see you the way Krishna sees you, then I'm actually talking to you about Krishna. I'm not speaking the word Krishna, but I'm seeing you the way Krishna sees you. I'm talking to you the way Krishna would speak to you. So I'm being a pure, transparent via media. And if I do that, if I react to every situation as an instrument of Krishna, then we are actually in that stream of truth. And any person who's in the stream of truth, is what Krishna says. anta-kale smaran muktva kalevaram prayati mad-bhavam yati atra samsayah. anta-kale smaran muktva. Mam eva. Shabdam is very important. Mam eva. So, somehow or the other, we should train our mind in such a way that we mold, Prabhupada writes in one of the purports, we should mold our life in such a way that we cannot but think of Krishna 24 hours and 7 days a week, 365 days a year. I have to mold my life in such a way. Okay, mold. That's a nice word Prabhupada used. I have to mold, which means my life is changeable. And the direction of the change must be in such a way that I cannot but think of Krishna 24 hours a day. And Krishna's promise is that anyone in such a consciousness is transported to the spiritual kingdom by the potency of his mercy. So one must understand his position, and somehow or the other, whether you hate the material world and you love Krishna, or you love Krishna and you renounce the material world, or you're indifferent to the world, or you're engaged in the world, you're a grasta, you're a vanaprastha, it doesn't matter. The final exam is I should remember the Lord, I should see the Lord. And we will see the Lord. How will we not see the Lord? Only person who will not see the Lord is anyone who likes a life of lie. Only that person doesn't see the Lord. Anyone who has divorced himself from all sorts of lies would be able to see the Lord in every situation. Okay, I like to be lied to. That is why when someone praises me, I think it is me who being praised. It's a lie, actually. So I'm living a life of lie, and we have to come out. This is Satyam is a very powerful principle. So when you make a vow to a spiritual master and you follow that Satyam, then you're taken to the next level of Satyam, the next level of Satyam, next level of Satyam, further. But the first door of Satyam is the vow to the spiritual master. And if I'm able to honor that vow as good as God, Satyam Param Dhimahi, then that Satyam, preserving that vow will uncover every other realm of Satyam that exists now and beyond. Now and beyond. So we should become serious. We should become sincere to somehow understand this as the ultimate goal. So, if I am not convinced about the goal, that means I have a lot of sinful reactions that is dragging me to different goals. So, we should cultivate faith. This is the difference, right? So I should have faith in the words of Bhagavad Gita. If you're reading Bhagavad Gita, I should have faith at least this much that this is the goal of life. What am I doing? What am I doing every day? What attachments do I have? So, in this way, every moment is a chance, an opportunity to detect the lie I am addicted to and offer that as a sacrifice to the Lord. So Krishna's asking us to give him lies. Offer me your lies, I'll offer you myself. What a great offer, is it not? Krishna saying, you offer me your lies, and then I'll offer you myself. Amazing. Amazing. So, and it's to my advantage. I have that choice, and that is what chanting does. So when we chant Hare Krishna mantra very sincerely, really sincere, but if you want to remain in this material world, again come back, romance with Asat, then there is no recourse. We'll have to come back here again. And death is very sudden, my dear devotees. Death is very, very sudden. So we have to have a very, very clear priority of what is my primary responsibility and what is my secondary responsibility as a devotee. The primary responsibility of a devotee is that you can say there are four responsibilities of a devotee. First is that he must chant Hare Krishna mantra 16 rounds every day. No matter what, I prioritize it as the life. This is what I'm here for. This is my primary responsibility. The second responsibility is that I should never give up the association of devotees. Whatever happens, I should not give up the association of devotees. I should stay in the stream. And the third thing is that one should give up prajalpa. Should give up prajalpa. All this kachada, all this materialistic mundane stuff, one should give it up. So these are our primary responsibilities. And our secondary responsibilities is taking care of our family, our money, our job, and this and that. But the primary responsibility, we must make it primary. The secondary responsibilities must be maintained in such a way that the primary responsibilities can remain primary and are not demoted to secondary or tertiary or whatever. And we must. I think I got disconnected. So I should be sober, collected to understand this point. that the goal of life is to remember Krishna at the time of death. If I do that, I can go back to God and all my problems are solved. If I don't do that, my life is a waste. Life is a waste. And not a waste, of course. We get another opportunity if we have remembered Krishna. But why should we not take this stance? I'm asking to my own mind. So this is the Prabhupada said, this is the art of dying. So I should remember only Krishna, which means before death comes, I should give up all other attachments. Before death comes, I should give up all other attachments. Even if I have a figment of attachment to this material world, I'll have to come back again and then have to learn the same lesson that anyway I could learn right now. I should learn the same damn lesson. Why delay? Why delay? So again I have to be born, again I have to go to school, again I have to get married, again I have to have sex, again I have to have this. Like, what's the point? Again I have to be having a job, again I get old, again I get sick, again I have anxiety issues, this, that. For what? What am I gaining here? So one must have this sense of disgust, right? And one must decide, make a decision, right? This life, I must make sure, right, that before death I have to give up all attachments. Now, what if I die tomorrow? Right? What if I die today? What if I die right now? People are getting heart attacks. So I should give up all attachments internally. I should wear a saffron robe inside. I should wear a saffron robe inside. Why not? Why not? Right? So I should understand. And of course, continue our duties. That's what Krishna says. Tasma sarveshu kaleshu ma manusmara yudhyacha. He says, you do your duties very nicely, but remember me in the core of your heart. And the good news is that if you do that right away, you can feel immediate relief. And then we can go back to God. It's a very important shloka. I recommend all of you to memorize this shloka. Ya prayati mad-bhavam yati atra samsayah. Very important shloka. Okay. Any questions? Thank you, devotees. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Pranams.
Hare Krishna. Pranam.